The United States has offered to pay unspecified compensation to the relatives of 10 people in Afghanistan, including 7 children, who were killed by mistake in a U.S. drone strike, as American forces were completing their withdrawal from the country. The U.S. Defense Department said it made a commitment that included offering ex gratia condolence payments, in addition to working with the U.S. State Department in support of the family members who were interested in relocation to the United States. Now, U.S. General Frank McKenzie, commander, U.S. Central Command, has also admitted that 7 children had been killed in the U.S. drone strike and that the vehicle targeted did not have any connection to the Islamic State terror group. Earlier, he also offered his apologies to the families of the victims.
Good afternoon. I'm here to brief the results of the investigation I directed following the report of civilian casualties from our strike in Kabul on 29 August. Having thoroughly reviewed the findings of the investigation and the supporting analysis by interagency partners, I am now convinced that as many as 10 civilians, including up to 7 children, were tragically killed in that strike. Moreover, we now assess that it is unlikely that the vehicle and those who died were associated with ISIS-K or were a direct threat to U.S. forces. I offer my profound condolences to the family and friends of those who were killed.
Aid worker Esmarai Ahmadi had been wrongly identified as an Islamic State militant by the U.S. intelligence on the 29th of August, during the final days of the chaotic U.S. evacuation from Kabul. U.S. intelligence tracked his white Toyota for 8 hours before targeting the car with a missile, killing 7 children and 3 adults, including Ahmadi. U.S. Central Command claims the vehicle had been spotted at a site in Kabul that had been identified as a location from which Islamic State terror operatives were believed to be preparing attacks on the Kabul airport. The intelligence failure raised hard questions about future risks, particularly whether the United States can keep track of the threats from Afghanistan without a presence in the country. Last month, relatives of the people killed in the attack demanded compensation and a face-to-face apology. Lloyd Austin has apologized for the botched attack. However, Ahmadi's 22-year-old nephew said that was not enough. The botched U.S. drone strike came days after the deadly ISIS suicide bombing at the Kabul airport. Nearly 200 people had been killed in the suicide attack, including 13 U.S. troops. Our WION correspondent, Nas Malik, has been tracking the developments closely. He had a conversation with the brother of the victim of the U.S. drone strike. Take a look.
What is your core demand now that the contact has been established? What do you want with the U.S.?
I want for USA that they should contact with me directly, and I offer some things to say for them. Like I want to have some expectation for USA like this.
What are your expectations with the U.S.?
My expectation for US that they should doing our case faster, that they should moving us from here, because maybe we will be under threat in the future. Because of that, I want for USA like this.
Emil, did you ever speak to Zamarai with regards to moving from Afghanistan to elsewhere, to US or elsewhere? Did you and Zamarai ever speak about this?
Yeah, the boss of Zamarai always cooperate with us, and also have contacted with him regarding to remove us from Afghanistan to USA.
Emil, can you just explain whose car was this and who was in it?
Yeah, this car belongs to my brother, Ajmal. This car belongs to my brother, Ajmal, that we went to stop it in here for a few days, that after that we will be repair this car also.
Right. And the house, I see it's currently being painted as well. The painting, the repair is currently ongoing.
Yeah, that you know better that all this area was destroyed by the drowned tract of USA. Right now we went to repair this wall and went to painting this wall.
So all of the blood stains and everything, they have been removed?
Yeah.
And what do you have to say about that? Was it a part of your memory? What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, because of that we went to paint this area, because that when we tell our family to come in here. They are afraid for this area.
There are still blood stains around over here. The house is currently being painted as well. You can see there's painting, the paint that is currently ongoing. Blood stains used to be here around. You can see those shells and the damage onto the rooftop being done. Upstairs, the repair is currently ongoing. With regards to the wood planks that the repair that have been done, this is the second ill-fated car that belonged to the Zamirai family, to the Ahmadi family. Zamirai's car was parked here on the right. It has been moved from here. We've previously reported from here. You can see the wall being burned to my left. The wall that is currently burned. It still has those marks of the drone strike. Whereas this car to the right, which is currently here, this belonged to Zamirai's brother. It was also damaged, but this car was not the target. The car that used to be here, which has now been moved from here, was the target, was that ill-fated car. That was the target of the US drone strike on the 29th of August.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.